What's going on, guys? It's Justin from Push and Profit. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day today. Now, today, the market was really a slow day for me, and not just because there wasn't a lot of opportunities, because today, every single day, there's a lot of opportunity in the market. However, I was just busy in my personal life. I was actually volunteering and helping out some orphans, and doing something, it's irrelevant to this video, right? So it's really a slow day, but I kind of did something different today that I want to talk about. So, one of the most common questions that I get through text messages, that I get in DMs, and just like direct messages on other platforms besides Instagram. It could be on Facebook and things. Just I get this message all the time: is how much do I day trade with, or how much do you need to day trade with? Right now, this is a really hard question to answer because the real truth is you could day trade with any amount, right? And I think the real question that people are trying to ask is how much do you need to day trade full time, right? And this is really relative, right? Because I've had friends who they traded with $4,000, right, and in the same month turned that 4,000 into $187,000, right. Now that story has never happened to me personally. Unfortunately, I never did 180,000 in 1 month, especially with just $4,000. That's absolutely incredible. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's really relative, right? Everyone's gonna be different. Now, to answer the question that a lot of people ask, I typically day trade with $30,000 for my account size. And that's not the perfect answer. I'm not saying that you have to day trade with 30,000. It's really up to you what you feel comfortable with. I find that with 30,000, that's really what I feel comfortable with. Maybe in the future I might scale up to a bigger amount, but for right now, I find it where it's a comfortable amount where I am comfortable with taking profits when I need to, cutting losses when I need to, and that's something that not a lot of people might be comfortable with when they first start, right? You might not want to day trade with such a high amount. You might want to start day trading with a small account, right? And that's actually something I recommend. However, for today, I did something different, as I mentioned, and I traded with only $100, right? Now, in this video, I kind of want to just go through and recap my trades for the day, and I also want to talk about the psychology that was going in my head with really just day trading $100, and kind of just show you guys how even with just a simple $100, you can still make a decent profit for the day. So I kind of just want to recap that. So we're just going to go ahead and hop into my computer screen and just break down my trades. Okay, now that we're officially on my computer screen, I kind of want to just provide a little bit of background so that you guys could better understand why I'm going to be toggling between two screens. So if you guys don't know or watch any of my other videos, I trade on the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, right? This is the platform that I use. This is the one I feel most comfortable with. Now, it's not necessarily the platform that you have to use, right? I encourage you to, find which one works best for your needs. Again, this is what I use, right? So I also have actually have several different brokerages accounts that I use for different reasons, but I also have another account with Tastyworks, right, where I trade options. Sometimes it's a smaller account than my TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim account, but in this video, I traded on the Tastyworks platform, but I charted on the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. Now, the reason I didn't just chart on the Tastyworks platform is just because me personally, I find that the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform is one of the best platforms for charting. Like I said, I traded on multiple different brokerages, and from what I've seen, I have yet to find another brokerage that has better charting than TD Ameritrade. So if you guys know any other brokerages that are even better than TD Ameritrade, then of course let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely check it out. But again, so you guys could kind of understand, I'm not trading on TD Ameritrade. I'm just looking at the chart on TD Ameritrade, and I'm placing the actual trades on Tastyworks. So that's why I'm going between two different screens. So hopefully you guys don't get too confused with that. But so for the first trade of the day, it was really ticker symbol KO, Coca-Cola. And I'm going to kind of explain why I got into this trade, when I got in, when I got out, what I made, trading with $100. And again, this was with options. I don't trade options all the time. I'm skilled in a lot of different tradable assets. I trade futures, I trade options, I trade stocks, I trade cryptocurrency. I've traded a lot of different tradable assets, so it really varies on the day. I don't really have a schedule. Some days I might just trade stocks, some days I might trade options. It really just depends on a lot of different factors. I'm not going to go too deep on that. But so for today, when I took this trade on ticker symbol KO, one of the main reasons why I really looked into this stock is just because right now is a special time where there was good news that came out with vaccines, right? And because of that, there's going to be a lot of optimism in recovery stocks, right? Because of the pandemic, There was a lot of tech stocks that thrived in the pandemic, like for example Zoom and a bunch of other tech stocks that they really accelerated their growth because of the pandemic, and a lot of recovery stocks like Coca-Cola, Carnival, Six Flags, stocks that pretty much did poorly because of the pandemic, fell down because of the optimism with the vaccine news coming out. I figured, hey, with this external information or news coming out, it's most likely gonna happen where recovery stocks are gonna pull up, and tech stocks are gonna kind of dip a little, which is exactly what happened. But that wasn't the only thing that I used to base my trade. That was just like the first reason why I took a look at ticker symbol KO and a few other ticker symbols, right? So again, I kind of pay attention to the news, but I only really focus on the technical analysis, right? I only really trade on technical analysis. Doesn't mean you guys have to, but I don't like trading on news or rumors or any other catastrophic event or catalyst. I like trading on technical analysis. So with that being said, I poured my eyes into KO with the idea of that news with the vaccine, and then I looked at the 5-minute chart, and I also looked at the 1-minute chart, right? So I toggled between the two charts, and something that I saw was and I only took my trade was only 15 minutes, by the way. This trade happened in 15 minutes because, like I said, I want to volunteer and help out orphans, and really just help out with this beautiful organization, but I'm not irrelevant again. So really the first trade that I took, I saw that Coca-Cola went up in the after hours, right? You could see that from yesterday it dipped and then started going up. And then when the market opened, it kind of dipped a little, right? So I was like, oh man, it might not happen where recovery stocks bounce up. But I was like, let me wait a little bit of time. I see that it was holding above the blue-purple line, which is a VWAP line. Then it crosses both right here, the exponential moving average, and it starts kind of just climbing above the green simple moving average, right? And so at this point is where I take my first position, right? And I scaled in, meaning that I didn't go all in this position. I added little by little, right? And this is something that I always kind of preach about. You don't want to just go all in, because if you're wrong, and you got to cut your losses, if you're going to lose more, which is why I like to scale in, because if I went in here and the trade ended up being bad, I'll cut my losses and I'll only lose a little bit because I only went a little bit in. But as I see the trade going in my direction, I add more into my position. So I see that Coca-Cola is hovering above this exponential moving average. It's moving up. It's moving up. So I buy a few contracts, right? I think in total it was a total of 4 contracts for Coca-Cola. Again, like I said, I only day traded with $100. And around here, I took my profits. Now, the reason I took my profits around here was because I saw that it was approaching the orange linear regression channel, which could pose as a potential resistance. And I said, let me just go ahead and take my profits. Yeah, it ran up a little bit more, but it's fine, right? Again, I said I had to do some other stuff. It was really just a quick trade. So I took my profits and I left. And, granted, yeah, I really missed out on a big piece of the pie, because look what ended up happening. I took my profits here. It came back down. But look what happened later on in the day. It ran up again, right? But again, you're not going to catch every single play in the market, right? That's just a reality. So that was really a 15-minute trade that I had on ticker symbol KO. And now if we toggle into my Tastyworks account, you can see that I made a profit on ticker symbol KO. $53, right? So with $100, just $100, I did pretty much more than 50% in a day, in 15 minutes, made $53, right? Now I'm gonna try to wrap your heads around this, because I know a lot of people who might see this video, they might say $53 is that's chump change, right? And the thing is, people kind of focus too much on the monetary amount, right? We're talking about $53. People like when I show my trades when I make 2,000 in a day, but when I make 2,000 in a day, I'm trading with 30,000, 25,000, right? To make $53 with only trading with $100 is, and I'm not trying to boast myself up, but it's actually pretty extraordinary, because you got to think about the percentage gain, right? It's like, take your mind away from the dollar amount. Think about the percentage gain. If you have $100 and you make $53 from that $100 in 15 minutes, I basically made 53% in 53 minutes, which is pretty good, right? Again, the stock didn't really move that much from when I bought in, right? Like this is like pretty much less than 1% in with the stock movement. But again, I was trading options, and options are very leveraged, right? And they're a little more complex. I'm not gonna really kind of go into the intricacies of options, but they're a lot more difficult. And if you're starting out, I'd recommend that you trade stocks and then slowly learn or teach yourself how to trade options, right? So that was really the first trade. It was 15 minutes. I made $53. Now you see, I made $4 on CCL, which again is not a lot, but when you're trading with $100, again, that's like 4%. And it was actually a bad trade that I did. So I'm gonna kind of break down the psychology with this. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into back to TD Ameritrade. I'm gonna type in CCL, and we're gonna talk about when I took this trade. So originally, I took this trade and I was shorting, right? I got puts, right? Because I was trading options. So I was trying to make a profit with the stock going down, and I got puts with CCL, and I think it was just literally just one contract, right? If I remember. So I got really like over here, right? I got puts over here, and if I could just zoom in a little so you guys could see, yeah, it started going down, right? But the thing with options is that if it doesn't go, because I was trading weekly options, and options is a Greek that really influences how much you can make, and it's called theta, right? So the longer it takes for you to reach your strike price, the more that theta is gonna burn your contract and you're gonna lose, right? So again, the stock was going down, but I was losing, and then it started moving sideways. So the more sideways that it's moving, right, the more that theta is burning down my contract, and I'm losing money. So I ended up, just taking an L, and I think I was down like only $12, right? But again, $12 of $100 is 12%. So I took the L, right? I'm down $12, and I'm like, okay, so whatever. Then I keep waiting, and this is a really bad thing that I did. It's almost like revenge trading. I kind of was like, I have to make my money back on CCL, which is honestly a bad way to think. Granted, I did make a profit at the end of the day. I still, managed to take it from a negative position to a profitable position. But the thing is, revenge trading is something that I don't recommend, but I still did it. And you could see that even I get emotional in the stock market. I mean, I get emotional with even $100. I thought that, hey, if I'm trading with $100, there might not be that many emotions involved. But the reality is, it's going to be an emotional battle, right? I thought like maybe with 30,000, I do kind of do a lot of revenge trading, but it even occurs with $100. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of discipline when it comes to trading that a lot of people don't talk about. So I see that it's moving sideways. Then around here, right, and this was a small move, I see that it does break above the exponential moving average, so I enter into a position, and I'm like, okay, I buy a call, just one contract, right, for a call, and it starts moving up, and I just take my profits because it was moving slowly. I saw that the RSI was overbought, so I took my profits. I redeemed the $12 L that I took, and with a profit of an additional $4. So really, I made $16 on this trade, but it just wiped off the $12 loss I had on the other trade, making a profit of $4 overall on CCL. So again, it was really interesting to trade with just $100. I really wanted to test myself, see how much you can make. Again, $53, a lot of people might see this and say that's nothing, but you have to think of it with the percentage gain in mind. And it was just interesting to just see how psychology still plays in trading. Granted, I was less emotional than I would have been had it been a larger account or a larger amount, but there were still emotions that were involved. But pretty much, I hope this really kind of just gives you guys some insight of how it's possible to trade with just such a small amount. $100 is really very doable to make this percent. Imagine if I did 53% with 25,000. That would have been half of 25,000 in a day, which is crazy. I've never done that, but I guess when you're trading with a smaller amount, something that you do is you kind of trade a little bit more aggressive than I would have traded with my 25,000 or 30,000 account. But at the end of the day, that's just what it is. The psychology is going to be a little different. But hopefully this guy really helps out with you guys. You guys could kind of figure out how much you guys feel comfortable with. And hopefully this video really does help you on your journey with trading. With that being said, guys, again, my name is Justin from Push and Profit. And I hope you have a beautiful day today. Take care.